How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have the vice president saying that he owns a significant amount of Bitcoin. We have Blackrock giving us 1 hour before something massive. We have new countries starting strategic Bitcoin reserves, ones that have never held Bitcoin, at least publicly, before. Let's talk about this. We also have Trump's son describing why 0.1 Bitcoin is very important and why you should get there as soon as possible. If you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this one. Also, this isn't everyone's cup of tea, but if you do want to trade crypto, if you want to get where you're going a little bit faster, of course there is risk in it, but if you want to trade crypto, there's a link underneath the video to BTCC. I really like BTCC. I've talked with a handful of people while I've been here, and a lot of them love BTCC, love the UI. You can start trading in a few minutes. You don't have to KYC. You don't need a VPN as of time of this recording, and you get a 20% bonus when you sign up between now and June 15 and deposit. So definitely check that out underneath the video. You can start trading on leverage today. Earlier today, we heard from JD Vance. He says, we do not believe Bitcoin competes with the US dollar. He also said that it's going to be a strategically important asset for the US. He also said, I own a fair amount of Bitcoin, which there have been reports they own between, I think, $250,000 and $500,000 worth of Bitcoin, maybe accumulating with what he knows. And we did have both of Trump's sons actually talk on stage about Bitcoin here today. It was interesting. It was not groundbreaking, anything earth-shattering announced, but they said a lot of people are trying to get their hands on Bitcoin right now, from individual investors to strategic funds to institutions, sovereign wealth funds. So there's a lot of money flowing into Bitcoin. They said the biggest problem right now for these institutions and companies is finding the Bitcoin. Of course, we are seeing other countries start to accumulate Bitcoin. The U.S. has not announced that they're going to start buying Bitcoin, right? They have their strategic reserve, but now apparently Pakistan is going to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and they will never sell. Actually, will never ever sell is the exact wording. So there are more countries adopting this. Of course, we have El Salvador, Bhutan, Pakistan, the U.S., a lot of sovereign wealth funds, too, doing it a little bit quieter than this. But I really want to see the buying plan from some of these countries. It's going to be interesting. But, yes, there's only 21 million Bitcoin, so this is going to go quickly. The New York City mayor, Eric Adams, plans to issue a bit bond for New York. Let me play this for you real quick. We'll just play a part of it.
City to have a financial instrument that is made for those who are holders of Bitcoin. I believe we need to have a bit bond, and I am going to push and fight to get a bit bond in New York so you can do those same bond investments in New York City.
Okay, more and more entities trying to get their hands on Bitcoin. Also, it's going to be much easier for people to start accumulating Bitcoin. There are $8 trillion of assets held in 401k plans that have not had access to Bitcoin. But Trump just axed the Biden-era barrier for crypto in 401k plans. Millions of people are going to be buying this without even knowing it. And they're just going to accumulate over the next 30, 40 years. Eric Trump said everyone in the world wants Bitcoin. Everyone is buying Bitcoin. 0.1% 0.1 Bitcoin is going to be worth an absolute fortune. So he says, get to 0.1 Bitcoin. They asked, is there an amount that's too small? And they said, no, just basically after you start accumulating, you start paying attention more. That's something that I've said on the channel a lot too. The biggest step is buying the first whatever. Just making the first buy of Bitcoin, because then you start paying attention. There's less of a psychological barrier. You can start accumulating more as time goes on. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Of course, there are entities that are just swallowing up a lot of the available Bitcoin. We talked about the sovereign wealth funds, the companies, the ETFs. In the next hour or so, Blackrock is going to announce, or it's going to come out, how much they bought here today. They bought 29 of the last 30 days. They have not had an outflow in 32 days. So they continue to accumulate. That's 6 weeks without an outflow. And they're buying $400 million a day on average, something like that. this drains so much of the Bitcoin off supplies. They went around asking Eric and Don Jr.'s thoughts on the price next year this time, and they said 170-ish, 160-ish. That's where they think we're going to be. 50% up from where we are right now. I know that's not quite parabolic, right? That's not a parabolic rise from where we are right now in the crypto world, but that's an insane return. That's a very good return. That's slightly worse than what we've gotten over the last year. Actually, now that I say that, I remember at the Bitcoin conference in 2024, it was held in July, if I remember right, we were around 70,000. We peaked out around 70,000, so 50% return over the last year, or since the last Bitcoin conference. If we have another 50% return, we're right at their estimates. I'd be okay with it. I'd be very happy with $170,000 Bitcoin at this time next year. Just a reminder, supposedly FTX is going to distribute over $5 billion in stablecoins on Friday. Who knows if this gets pushed back? It seems like it gets pushed back pretty often, but there could be some more money coming into the ecosystem. Also, reminder, NVIDIA just reported earnings. They had EPS of 0.81, beating expectations of 0.75, revenue of 44.1 billion, beating the expectations as well. NVIDIA, obviously one of the most important stocks for the stock market. It's up 4.2% after the market closes, or after the market closed. Just look at their growth. And we'll get back to crypto in just a second, but look at their growth over the last year. Since last year at this time, since last year, they have grown from 26 billion to 44 billion. Their EPS last year at this time, 60 cents. Just insane what they're able to do. Of course, this does affect the stock market, and the stock market affects crypto, so I do pay attention to it. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Bitcoin's price, it's sitting right around 107. Not really doing too much since the conference started. It's just looking fine. And, you know, I can't complain with Bitcoin around $107,000. Let's see, it might have fallen a little bit. Someone was telling me that it fell a little bit. No, 107. So if you do want to trade, there are links underneath the video. You can check out BTCC or WEEX. They both have different bonuses going on right now. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I like to use it as a small percentage of my portfolio to leverage. It basically gets, it gives me exposure to more Bitcoin, and you can always add margin if you set these up properly, these trades up. Let me know your thoughts, though, underneath the video. So far, there's been really good energy from the conference. I think they're probably going to do it in Vegas again next year because it seems like a lot of people love it. Having such a large location and being able to... you can walk from one edge of the Venetian to the other, and it takes 15 minutes. It's great for holding an event like this because you can do stuff at the event in the building. So if you do want to come to next year's conference, I'm guessing they're going to do it here, just from what I've heard, everyone liking it so much. I think there's a link underneath the video that gives you 10% off next year's tickets, and this is the cheapest that they'll be. So check that out. Let me know your thoughts on what's happening in the market right now. Of course, Michael Saylor will speak tomorrow. If you're at the Venetian, I would go watch it. It's going to be really interesting. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it. I have to head out early, but it will be a very, very fun speech. It's like watching a rock concert or something like that. Like, he is a superstar here. So yeah, if you want to check it out, I definitely would, or watch the live stream. I'll be watching the live stream for sure. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts underneath. If you want to trade, great. There are links underneath, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.